Glass fly box. Today we're going to tie one of my favorite go-to winter midge patterns. I've been fishing this pattern for probably 6-8 years. It fishes well on a dropper, fishes well as a trailing fly. It fishes year-round very effectively, but in the winter time this pattern tends to shine. And I find myself in the summer and fall months choosing other patterns, but in the winter, this is the first one I go to. It's nameless. I never bothered trying to name this fly. But it's very effective. It's only 3 materials plus the hook and bead. Very simple to tie. If you were going to name a particular fly as a guide fly, it's just simple to knock out, very effective, and it's one you'd want to stock up on very easily. Let's go over how we tie it. I start out with a Orvis wide gape tactical hook and a tungsten gold bead. And we're going to start our thread. It's Olive Dun A. Uni. And we're going to start it and move it back about halfway back the shank. And you'll see why in just a second. And the first material we're going to tie in here is hen furnace hackle. And I tie this is probably the most important part of this pattern. I tie this with a little bit longer tail than the hook size would otherwise stipulate, I guess. Best word for it. Because I want to get both of the colors of this furnace hackle in. This pattern will drift behind an indicator and almost swim. And I think that's probably what causes fish to take it more than anything. But we start out, I'm going to tie it in with about probably about a bead length of the black still showing towards the end. And we're going to put a little pinch wrap in there. Give 2 wraps, make sure I'm right about where I want to be. The tail is about the same length as the hook, basically, in order to get those fibers the way I want them. And we're going to bring it to the back. You'll see just about the time you start to reach the bend of this hook. This is a short gape hook, or a short shank hook with a larger gape, and it's a little bit shorter. It's got a little bit different curvature to it, but that's why I like it. I was tying this on a curved shank hook before and on a nymph hook, but I've gone to this wide gape tactical probably about the last 2 years, and I do like it a lot. And then we're going to bind down those butt ends, and then I'll bring the thread back to the end by the tie-in point of the tail, and I will build a slight taper to the body with just the tying thread. I'm not going to go crazy. Oop. A little bump there, I don't want that. And I'm going to take it all the way up to the bead. Not because that's going to be showing, but helps lock in the bead as well. And then we're going to take olive ice dub. I'll just wrap about an inch, if that, probably about a ½ inch. Very slight dubbing noodle. We're not going to build up too much. What this does, I think, is it transitions to the bead. This ice dub, when tied with a bead, highlights the bead. I think it just adds to it underwater. And we're a little bit slacking there on the dubbing noodle. When you try and tie this stuff without wax too light, it can fly all over the place. And then we're going to wrap up behind the bead. It's going to help seat the bead. It's going to give a iridescent collar. And that's about all you want. So I'll strip the rest of that off. I'd rather have a little much on so I can always stop. we're going to give a quick 3-turn whip finish. And there we are. I'll clip that off. Very simple pattern. Very effective pattern for me. I hope it is for you. But I'd say it's, if you want to call it something, call it Ralph's No Name Nymph. Because that's about what it is. It's a very effective fly for me. I wanted to share it with you before you get out in these winter months, because this is where it shines the most in my box. And I hope it adds to your box as well. Good luck. See you on the water.